Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today's video I'm going to discuss about Helios model. Stop a minute. If you haven't visited the previous video which is uploaded regarding the standard deviation, kindly have a look at it. After that, continue with this video because we are having a very close relationship between this standard deviation and Helios model, and you know why in couple of minutes. Okay, why this particular model Helios is developed? So there is this person called Helios who argues that working out the standard deviation of various ranges of possible cash flows would be helpful in the process of taking cognizance of uncertainty involved with future project. That means he is giving more emphasis on pattern of cash flow instead of taking the overall project to find the risk. He asks us to take the pattern of the cash flow, depend on which he just came up with this model called Helios model. This model evaluates the various alternative cash flows that may arise from a capital expenditure proposal. So the cash flow may be independent. That means it is uncorrelated. There is no relation between the cash flow that happens previously or that is happening in the future. So there will be these cash flows which are perfectly correlated, which may have relationships, or there will be cash flows which is neither correlated nor uncorrelated, for which he have been arrived with different formulas. When the cash flows are uncorrelated, that is when the cash flows are independent, so the formula to find our risk, that is sigma of net present value, is nothing but summation of sigma t square divided by 1 plus I the whole power 2t the whole root. Okay, before explaining the arrangement of this formula, let us see the another formula too. So when the cash flows are perfectly correlated, our sigma of net present value is nothing but summation of sigma t divided by 1 plus I power t. So yeah, there are two different formulas. So yes, there are two different formula. One is for uncorrelated and another one is for perfectly correlated. So the main thing to be noted is that when it comes for uncorrelated, we are going to use sigma t the whole square. If you remember, sigma square is nothing but variance. So here we are considering our variance, and another important thing to be noted here is for this sum we are not going to use our discounted cash flows. We are going to use our risk-free rate. Okay, this is very important. If you have been, but you will be provided with the two rates, that is you will be provided with your discounted rate and also you will be provided with risk-free interest rate. So kindly go with risk-free interest rate and don't use your cost of capital. So this T is nothing but the life of the project. When it comes to perfectly correlated, we are going to use our standard deviation instead of variance. That is, I'm just going to use my sigma. So again, I is our risk-free interest rate and T is the period of the project. So yes, if you see, there are separate formulas for each of the methods. So first one is for uncorrelated, where we will be using variance in our numerator, and second one is for perfectly correlated, where we will be using sigma, that is standard deviation, in our numerator. And yes, another type of cash flow where neither it is uncorrelated nor perfectly correlated. But we are not having a particular sum on this third part. Okay, there is no sum provided in our syllabus, and also they won't be asking sums from this part when it comes for your examination. But I just discussed a little about it in the end of this video, where we will be using our joint probability to arrive our sigma. Okay, let me read the question for you. So the project life comes to be 3 years. The initial outlay of the project is 5 lakh, where your cost of capital, that is K, is 12%. Your risk-free rate is equal to 6%. There are 3 years, okay, because the life of the project is 3 years. So they have been provided with net cash flow for each year along with the probability. Whenever you're provided with your probability, then you have to find your expected net cash flow, because this is not your exact cash flow. We are going to have some anticipation here. So we are going to find our expected net cash flow. So what are the requirements here? The requirements is we have to compute our expected net present value, and the another thing is they have been provided as to find our sigma of net present value, that is standard deviation of net present value. So if you see, we have already have this kind of sums. Okay, so you may think, what if I use a normal sigma formula? It is nothing but root summation of x minus x bar the whole square divided by n. So is it the right method to use? No, it is not the right method to use. So how you will be finding I should be using Elias model instead of the normal method. So the one hint is that if you're provided with risk-free rate, then you should go with the Elias model because you know the formula of the Elias model. If you're provided with risk-free rate in your question and asked you to find the standard deviation of the NPV or sigma of NPV, go with the EDS model and don't go with the conventional formula of the sigma. So it will again provided in your question whether the cash flows are uncorrelated or it is perfectly correlated. So depend on the given information, work out your problems. So since it is been not provided anything here, I'm just going to help you to find the answer based on both methods. First, let us find our expected net present value and let us find our standard deviation of net present value, taking that the cash flows are uncorrelated. And then I will also help you to find the same sigma of net present value, taking that your cash flow is perfectly correlated. So you will be not confused to how to approach under each method, and in examination it will be provided whether it is correlated, it's perfectly correlated or uncorrelated in your question itself. And one thing to be noted here is again and again the risk-free interest rate. So in that case you're going to go as per what? Elias model. If this risk-free interest rate is not provided, then you can proceed your sum as per the normal method. It is not an issue at all. Okay, let us move further. So the first thing is to be find our expected net present value. Let me write the requirements in the tabular form, and yes, your net cash flow is already provided and your probability is provided. Let me copy the same. So by multiplying your net cash flow and probability, I am arriving with my expected cash flow for my first year, and do the same steps further to find the expected cash flow for the year 2 and year 3. So the first year expected cash flow comes to be 25,000, and for second year it comes to be 20,000, and for third year it comes to be 25,000. So now what? Now we should be finding our expected present value. Yes, let us move further. So yeah, let us find our expected net present value. Year 1 expected present value is equal to expected cash flow into discount factor, right? So the discount factor formula is nothing but 1 divided by 1 plus k the whole power t. So 25,000 into 1 divided by 1 plus 0.06 the whole power 1. So by solving, I have just arrived with an answer of 23,575 for year 1. And yes, by doing the same steps again and again for year 2 and year 3, I am just arrived with my expected present value for each year. For year 2 it is 17,800, and for year 3 21,000. So let us find our expected net present value. It is nothing but summation of expected present value minus initial investment, that is expected present value of cash inflow minus present value of cash outflow. So by adding my expected present value of all the 3 years minus my initial investment, I will be arriving with my expected net present value. It comes to be 12,375. This is my expected net present value. Yes. Okay, let us move to the next slide where we will be doing our standard deviation of NPV. So yes, I have just computed under two methods because in this question they haven't provided whether the cash flow is uncorrelated or perfectly correlated. So let us do under both the methods to know how to compute any method is asked in your examination. Okay, so uncorrelated formula is nothing but sigma of NPV is equal to summation of sigma t the square divided by 1 plus I the whole power 2t the whole root. When it comes for perfectly correlated, sigma of NPV is equal to summation sigma t divided by 1 plus I the whole power t. Okay, let us compute our sigma of NPV as per the method A first. So the formula comes to be summation sigma t the whole square divided by 1 plus I power 2t the whole root. So let us move on to the computation part. So computation of sigma square. Yes, first of all we should find our sigma square. So how you will be finding? So sigmas, again write your sigma square formula. So sigma square formula is nothing but summation of x minus x bar the whole square divided by n. So if you have already watched our standard deviation video and our variance video, then you don't have any confusion at this part. This is why I just have uploaded a separate video on that. So guys, the sigma square, either you can have two types of formula. One is summation of x minus x bar the whole square divided by n when there are number of items are provided, or in case the probability is provided, then you can use this formula. So either you can go for the first formula or you can go for the second formula, formula based on the information provided in your sum. So this summation of x minus x bar the whole square into pi. Pi is nothing but your probability. Yes, this question is having probability. So we will be using probability here instead of the first formula. Okay, let us move to the next slide and see how does this work. So before that, so this x means the actual return. Okay, this x bar means what? The x bar is the expected return. And finally, our p is nothing but our probability. Okay, let us find our sigma square. So what are the items we are needed? So t, that is the year, x bar, x minus x bar, then x minus x bar the whole square, and finally we will be having with our sigma by multiplying the pi. So year 1, so x is already been provided in the question. Just write all the cash flows for the year 1. The x bar is nothing but you're going to take the mean. So how I founded this mean value is 15,000 plus 25,000 plus 35,000 divided by 3, and I have arrived with my 25,000. That's it. Just solve all these things. You will be arriving with the x minus x bar the whole square. Then finally by multiplying with the probability, you will be arriving with your sigma. So the probability is being provided as 0.3, 0.4, 0.3 for year 1. So yes, sigma 1 the whole square comes to be what? 6 crore. So for second year, sigma square is what? 4 crore. Sigma square for third year comes to be 6 crore. So now we have been arrived with sigma square for all the 3 years. Sigma of NPV is equal to, what is the formula? Sigma t the whole square divided by 1 plus I the whole. So summation of sigma t square divided by 1 plus I the whole power 2t whole root. So one thing to be noted here is, so in the first slide when we were discussing about the formula for the first time, we have been used this summation for the numerator alone, but that is not the correct format. Just follow this formula, that is you just write the summation and then this entire formula comes under the bracket, because by solving this manner you will be getting your correct answer. Okay, let me show how does that help. So summation of sigma 1 the whole square divided by, just write the formulas and you just substitute. If in case of t, just substitute 1 for the first year. In case of t, substitute 2 when it comes for the second year. So like that, just first substitute everything. By solving these, we will be arriving with our NPV. So yes, my sigma of NPV comes to be rupees 11,286. So this is for uncorrelated cash flows. So that is the cash flows are independent. Okay, let us move further and solve the question as if the cash flows are of perfectly correlated. Sigma of NPV is coming to summation of sigma t divided by 1 plus I whole power t. So yes, just put an whole bracket. Sigma should be out of your back bracket. Don't put the sigma in the numerator. It may confuse you, or else you can even do like that, but it will confuse you. This is the right way to do. So yes, again substitute every values here. So why I am taking root in the numerator in the second step is that I just arrived with my sigma square for year 1, sigma square for year 2, sigma square for year 3. So that is my variance, but here in need of sigma. So when you take root, the square and the root gets cancelled. So why I'm just taking the root to arrive with my sigma. So by solving everything, I'm just arriving with my sigma of NPV comes to be rupees 19,440. So this is how you should be finding your answer. So finally, whenever there is a perfectly correlated cash flow, your sigma is going to be high. So you may understand that when we are studying portfolio. So finally, we are going to see the last part, which is cash flow, are neither perfectly correlated or uncorrelated. Simply you're just going to use a joint probability. That is, there is this project with life of 2 years. If one of the cash flow estimate of second year is 10,000 with probability 0.40 corresponding to cash flow of first year of rupees 88,000 with probability of 0.30, then how you will proceed this sum? This is so simple. So first of all, you should be finding your joint probability for the second year. So joint probability is nothing but your probability of the first year and the probability of the second year. So 0.40 into 0.30 comes to be 0.12, provided the cash flow of the first year is rupees 8,000. In that same condition only this will work out. So in that case, you just first of all you should find your joint probability. Based on that joint probability, find your expected cash flow, and based on that expected cash flow, find your expected net present value, and based on that net present value, you should be carrying on the sum, and after which you will be having your sigma of net present value. Simple, right? So by this, I'm just completing the Helios model. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you.